You have something valuable you want to say, but before you even open your mouth, your brain goes, what if I mess up? What if no one actually cares about what I want to say? So you stay quiet. You leave the meeting without actually contributing. Or you walk away from the conversation thinking, I should have said something at least. If that sounds familiar to you, I've been there more times than I can actually count. And if you've ever talked yourself out from speaking up, you know how frustrating it feels. So incredibly frustrating, because deep down you know you have something valuable to share. Hi, if you're new to the channel, my name is Hugo Mintel. I am a communication coach. I help people master the number one high income skill, communication. And if you're wondering why I say it's the number one high income skill, go watch my latest video and you'll find out exactly why. Today, we're breaking down one of the most common struggles people face. Why we talk ourselves out of speaking up. More importantly, we'll talk about what you can do to actually break that cycle, so your ideas actually get heard. I remember back in high school, I would know the answer to a question, but I would avoid raising my hand because I didn't want to be wrong in front of everyone. Even though I was sure that my answer was correct, the risk of it being wrong or the risk of me stuttering or expressing my answer in an unclear manner was too great for me to ever want to open my mouth. And later in my career, I had moments in meetings where I had a good idea, but I kept it to myself. And what happened? Well, nothing bad at first, but also nothing changed for me. Someone else would eventually bring out something familiar, and I would sit there thinking that could have been me. The recognition that person is right now getting could have been me if I just said what I was thinking. And maybe you felt this way too, at work, in class, or with your friends. You had something valuable to contribute, but you stayed quiet. You had a joke you wanted to say, but you never said it. And afterwards you replay the moment in your head, imagining how it could have gone if you would have spoken up. You see yourself laughing with your friends, or you see your boss acknowledging your great idea. That's the real cost of staying quiet. Not embarrassment, but missed opportunities, missed recognition, missed progress. So why do we do this? Why do smart, capable people actually hold back? Well, it usually comes down to fear. Fear of being judged, fear of saying the wrong thing, fear of not sounding smart enough, not sounding perfect enough. And here's the thing, our brains are wired for safety, not success. Every time you don't speak up, your brain learns, good, staying quiet kept me safe. And the cycle just keeps getting stronger and stronger and more difficult to get out of. And no, this is most of the time not about lacking ideas. I would have so many great ideas in my head, but it's the fear of how those ideas will be received by the other people in the meeting, or how that joke will be received by the other people. Is it too dark, or is it too lame? Will everyone actually laugh at it? That fear of it not being received as you want it to be is extremely hard to overcome. And the irony is that the people who overthink the most are the ones who do have the best ideas. They just never let them leave their head. The people who overthink the most are the ones who actually think of their ideas more than anyone else. They come up with the best solutions, the most perfect answer, but they never really utter it because they think it's not perfect. And here's the truth. The real risk isn't in speaking up. Think about it. What's the worst thing that can happen if you share your thoughts? Maybe someone disagrees. Maybe it doesn't land perfectly. Maybe you get a no. That's it. The worst thing that can happen if you decide to speak up is that you get a no to your idea. That's it. But what's the cost of saying nothing? People don't see your value. Someone else shares the idea you wanted to share, and the opportunity for you to grow or actually get noticed disappears. Staying quiet feels safe in the exact moment you decide to do it. But long term, just the second after that, it actually gets far riskier. And that's when you realize I should have said something. All right, so my camera, my phone, which acts as my camera, and my microphone decided to die at that very point in the video. So here I am. I was just about to edit it, realizing it. So I'm just trying to finish it here off so you get the full video, of course. Where was I? So staying quiet feels safe in the exact moment when you decide to stay quiet, but long term, it's actually far riskier than speaking up. And for me, the turning point was realizing that confidence isn't something you're born with or something you wait for. It's something you build by action. You have to put in the reps to build the confidence you want. Now, the first time I forced myself to speak up, my heart was pounding, I was nervous, my palms were sweating. But afterwards, I realized that nothing bad happened. Literally, nothing bad happened. In fact, people actually agreed with me. They leaned in, wanted to hear more, and slowly my brain started to actually trust me and my words. The fear got quieter, and speaking up became so much easier over time. And I want you to know it wasn't built overnight, it was built one small moment at a time. So, how do you stop talking yourself out of speaking up? Well, here are the three main things that work for me. Where the first one is start small with exposure therapy. So, don't wait for the biggest meeting of your life. Don't wait for the meeting where everyone at the company will attend. Start with something low stakes, something that feels small right now. Add one idea to a small group discussion. Add a question in a casual setting. Prove to your brain that this is safe. And once you become more comfortable with the low stakes moment, move on to a medium stakes moment. And eventually you will become more comfortable with that. And then you can step on stage at the big one. Now, the second one is prepare clarity. I often talk about how clarity has helped me so much. A lot of hesitation comes from not knowing how to phrase your thoughts. So before a meeting, write down one sentence you want to add to that meeting. It doesn't have to be perfect, but when that moment comes, you will have something ready to go. You have something already written down that you know will be great for this discussion. Because more often than not, you will have an agenda that you can look at beforehand, before joining the meeting, and therefore you have a structure that you can go through. All right, what do I know about this? Can I add something here? If yes, write down what you can add so you have that ready to go when you get to that meeting. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. Most meetings are just brainstorming sessions where everyone there just expects you to add something to keep that conversation going. Because if you can add something, someone else would add on top of that, and someone else would add on top of that. And eventually you will have a full on idea that is ready to move forward. And then a very important part about your mindset. Reframe mistakes. If you stumble, that's not failure. That's communication. It's a part of it. Nobody speaks perfectly all the time. The point isn't to be flawless. The point isn't flawless delivery. It's being part of the conversation because that's what matters. If you're just part of the conversation, your confidence and your thoughts will begin to become more clear and better. The more you do this, the more your brain learns that speaking up isn't dangerous, and that's when confidence starts to grow. So remember this, the real danger isn't in speaking up, it's in the silence of not speaking up. Every time you share your perspective, you build presence, you build trust, you give yourself a chance to be recognized. And the more you practice, the less that inner voice, the one that says don't say it, will control you. So the next time you feel yourself about to stay quiet, remind yourself the real risk isn't messing up. The real risk is missing out. Start small, say one thing, and join the conversation. Do that consistently, and you'll be shocked, you'll be amazed at how fast that fear fades. If you want more tools to master communication, hit subscribe. I share new videos every single week to help you grow the number one high income skill, communication. And again, if you wonder why I say the number one high income skill, watch my latest YouTube video where you will find out. See you in the next one. Bye bye.